Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Venin. You can see him there in front of the box. We'll go ahead and put him outside real quick and take a look at said box. And yep, it is a Age of the Primes box. So you see Transformers Age of the Primes, and he has his name right there with the Insecticon logo and Hasbro logo. And of course, you got the artwork of him both in robot and, well, I guess, bug mode there. You got 17 steps, I guess, there in the window. And of course, on top, you have Venin and Tomi. On this side, you have another picture of Venin's robot mode right there. On this side, you have, of course, the some of the Prime statues right there, and of course Deluxe Class down there, and on the bottom you have what's included in some manufacturing details, and of course on the back you do have some copyrights and warnings and some product shots, because yep, that's what you do. And of course it includes instructions, which are mostly pretty straightforward. I believe there's one thing I kind of got a little lost on, just because it's like they don't make it clear that how certain thing will move. They don't make it clear that how some things move. Let's just say that. So Venin, or Venom, as most people are going to call him, but of course they can't call him that because, well, I guess probably trademark reasons due to Marvel's Venom and everything. Don't want to, don't mess with the rat, all that stuff. But anyway, getting in close here, you can see he's got a kind of very goofy looking head, because it's, well, it's got the whole thing was I got this, kind of like mono-eyed thing with this big old like ear crest things with all these bulbish things, which look kind of like eyes, don't they? But I got also this little gun, like antenna thing, whatever. You got some, some gray bits, some gray detailing on here on the chest. You got also with a translucent orange plastic right here. And of course, actually, it looks like there's some painted silver or something underneath that. There's something underneath. It looks like silver, but yeah, I also got the Decepticon badge. Big old wings right there. Of course, he can't put his arms down. Got some more gray, some green kneecaps, some orange, some black detailing right there as well. Some little gray toes. Also a bunch of bug legs, which... This is the way I guess they want you to arrange them, but you can kind of do, well, there's a lot more you can do, I guess, in regards to how you arrange them. There's several ways you can arrange it, but, that's just, we're just going to go with that. But, yeah. Overall, not a bad looking robot. He's just got the problem of, well, because this is how the original toy was, this is kind of where your lot, which is, you can't really put the arms much further down than that unless you do some finagling, which I think one example, like, I think one thing I saw was like doing this. Like out of the box, he's like this, which, yeah, hey, look, it actually doesn't look bad, and he lets his arms he let him put his arms down. But yeah, officially you're supposed to do that, and I believe is also you're supposed to have it like with the little like the rigid parts on the wings up. Yeah, you can feel there's like texture on this side, but yeah, I believe it's supposed to be like that. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, it's pretty much the first you can put his arms down in that case, but. Regardless, I guess speaking of articulation stuff, head can go left and right and up and down. Thanks to it's not a ball joint; it's a bizarre set of hinges and stuff swivels because of transformation. So he can look really far up, he can look pretty far down, you can look side to side, and it just kind of looks weird. Though shoulders, you do have full articulation. You just got to watch out for the wings. You got up and down. Obviously, right there, you got bicep swivel, and you got an elbow bend. The wrists don't swivel, but they can fold in for transformation, which means I guess sword stuff can kind of get away with things like that. I guess, of course, the wings, you can adjust those. There's a twist and hinge right there. There is a waist swivel, actually. Right there. Actually, pretty much unhindered, even with all the bug legs back there. So there's that. Of course, hips, you got forward and back. Of course, again, unless you rearrange stuff back here, you're going to get kind of limited, but... Yeah, you also get the legs a little bit further, get the kneecap out of the way. And of course, outward, you got pretty much a full split. You have a thigh swivel. You have a knee bend, which of course is quite the knee bend, because thanks to how he transforms, he does do that. Although again, you get this bit kind of getting in the way of that. But yeah, you can get a pretty decent knee bend. And of course, down here at the feet, you do have a lot of tilt because of how it transforms again. And there's actually a little bit of forward and back again, thanks to how it transforms. Yeah, we even have a little bit of downward toe joint. So. Yeah, his articulation is actually pretty good. It's just the design kind of makes things a little difficult, particularly again regarding the arms. But he also has a couple accessories, namely he's got a little green rifle, which has some pretty cool little design to it. I got a weird sprue mark right there. Of course, that can plug into his hand along with his axe, which it's just gray, but looks pretty decent. You can plug that into his other hand or whatever, like that, so you can be armed up. Or if you really want, you can also, instead combine the weapons. There's a little peg hole right back here, and you can just plug the axe in the top like that, and you can hold the barrel of the gun, and now it's a big ol' axe. Big old battle axe thing, which is pretty cool. And also, by the way, I almost forgot to mention this, which is the gun barrel is, of course, blast effect compatible. That. And if you want to store it away, there is a peg hole right there, and you can just, like that, with the Axon handle on and everything, and there you go. Also, this, hey, look, there's a time machine stage port. So, yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So the only thing is, again, the wings are a bit weird, but it is a way. There is are ways to alleviate the wings being in the way. But there you go. So some comparisons, of course, the line standard nowadays, which is of course Studio Series 86 Optimus. Look at that. And well, other Insecticons, namely here's Bombshell, and gotta get these guys all in one place. Shrapnel and Kickback. And yeah, I don't have any of the other deluxe Insecticons at all. I don't have original G1. I don't have any of the original G1 deluxe Insecticons. I don't have any of the new repaints. Yeah, so I don't have Chop Stop, Ransack, or Barrage. You know, but they are repaints of these three, repaints and remolds of these three, so it still gives you an idea. And I didn't get them because, well, they're repaints of these three, and I already have them, and I have no connection to them, so I didn't really care about getting them. And the only reason I got this one is because it's a brand new mold, and it does look kind of cool. So that's pretty much it. And they're like parts of multi-packs and whatnot, so I didn't really have an incentive to get them. So Venin here looks pretty decent. I think he looks pretty decent overall. He's got nice bright colors. He looks pretty decent. The only thing really complain about really is the wings do get a little in the way of his articulation, but that's just kind of what you expect, and you can fix it a little bit. Even like, you know, even I can do into something like this too, like kind of a weird robe skirt thing or whatever if you want. So you got options in regarding how you put this. You don't have to put it like that if you don't want to. Anyway. So, getting him transformed into, well, bug mode. First, got to get this out of his hand, like that. So, first thing is also get this hinged up and out of the way like that. These wings up and out of the way. So, kind of like that. Gonna get them out to the side like that. And then down here at the feet, what you want to do is rotate the toes into the feet like that, and then bring the feet up right here, like so. Also adjust them on this hinge a little bit. Right here, what you want to do is rotate the legs out here like this, and you're going to rotate them in, and probably also get these bug legs a little out of the way, just because they're in the kind of somewhat getting in the way like this. So just going to get them out of the way a little bit. It rotates in like this, and this right here, this little tab thing is going to go into a little slot right there. And on top of that, you're going to adjust the knee pad a little bit as well when you're getting it in. Could be a little weird. Yeah, and also lift these up out of the way too. So this part, for whatever reason, it just yeah, it just sometimes fights me a bit. It's a little annoying. Yeah, getting this rotated and up and in there like that, and then rotating this green bit in as well, whilst getting it all plugged in. You can see there's a kind of a keyed tab, which is a little annoying too, because it's a key tab on both sides. Like, what were you thinking on that one? Get those. You're gonna have to more or less like squeeze this part so it gets in there past that part and everything, and yeah, like that. So it looks like that, and then of course right here you want to make sure to lift that up so that you gotta make sure to bring this in as far as possible, and then bring this in as far as possible on this hinge, and then bring it over top like that, and they'll hold together like that. That's pretty much the lower half done, and then you go bring the wings back right here. There's a bit right here. You can see there's this thing right here, which will go into a little notch right there, like that. See that? And go into that little notch right there, like that. It's supposed to. Like so. And then here, what you want to do is take the arms here. You want to collapse the hand into the forearm. And you want to collapse the forearm right here, because it is technically double jointed, but it's kind of, that's the thing is, yeah, it's technically double jointed, but it doesn't really work double jointed in robot mode. Collapse that up right there, like that. Same thing on this side, rotate it right here at this bicep. Collapse the hand in, and then collapse the elbow. Like so. Right here, you can see there's these gray bits. These are kind of on these weird slider things. You want to push them in. You want to push those into the torso, and they'll meet in the middle, like that. And then right here, you can take the arms here and just bring them down. And the thing about this, and trying to get this out of the way, you see this little square bit on the forearm is going to go kind of in between. You can see in between those little gray bits right here on this, and that's a little bit of a nuisance to get in, but it is doable. Like that, just get it in there like that. And put the wings came up, and do the same thing on this side. Bring this in, and then get that square bit between the gray pieces like that. And then what you do here is finally you take this, and you see there's these slots right here on the back of the head, and they go over these tabs right here like that, and you go ahead and fold this away, and then you will just bring out the legs on these ball joints and just kind of spread them out a bit. And there you go. There's Venin in his bug mode. And yeah, Venin here is, well, kind of I believe he's a cicada or something along those lines, and very odd looking to say the least. It's a very odd looking bug guy, but you know, kind of looks a lot like the G1, I guess, dude. Again, still seeing the greens and oranges and translucent orange and everything, but yeah, now of course, hey, look, this is obviously a bug head, although I guess, I don't know, is that the mouth? Maybe? I don't know. These are bug eyes, and yeah, the little antenna thing just kind of folds neat underneath here, which is interesting. I thought that's gonna be like a proboscis or a little bit. No, it's just kind of folds in right there. Thing is that these wings, like one of them in particular, really likes to just untab itself really easily, particularly this one right here, unfortunately. But generally, you know, it looks not too bad, all things considered. It's not too bad looking as a whole. It looks pretty decent, and transformation itself is kind of interesting one, just because it's like there's a lot of weird stuff. Like the legs don't like to cooperate for me. Like getting those that like were tabbed in right here is a little annoying. The arms can be a little annoying to get you know situated right in between there. There is some clever bits. I will say this: the way the arms transform is kind of clever in a way. I do generally like that. And yeah, it's just kind of neat. Overall, yeah, it's just kind of neat. But you know, kind of just got little problems here there, but they aren't too difficult to surmount. Of course, articulation-wise, you do have ball-jointed legs, and that's pretty much it. They just are ball joints that go up and down and around, and everything on all of them are the same. So all of them are ball jointed, as you can see. And of course, the wings here can you know, flare out so you can, you know, fly, and they can twist and everything, and yeah. So you can do that. You can't make them go up and down or anything, but yeah, you can do all that stuff. And of course, as for weapon storage, these are also very stiff ball joints, I should say, too. So it doesn't take much to, yeah, they pretty much stay in place, which is good. But as for weapon storage, yeah, pretty much just there's the peg holes on the sides here, so you can just peg the gun and axe right here like that if you'd like. So yep, pretty straightforward. It's a decent looking bug guy, and there's some clever bits to the transformation, but you know, it's also fairly simple in a sense, in a sense too. Yeah, it's got some simplicity to it, but also there's definitely a lot of cool engineering going on. So there's that. And I don't know why, but I cannot get these legs to just play nice with each other. Just don't want to all sit level. There we go. Yeah, for again some comparisons, I'm just going to bring out the Insecticons again. Bombshell, Shrapnel, and Kickback. Although I have Kickback with his little thing, which what was it? Chop Shop did this, or no? Barrage did this. It was Barrage who did this one. This was a repaint of, or became a repaint of this guy. So yeah, just give you an idea of them together. Yeah, these two. Yeah, so yeah, again, these are the repaints. So you know, there you go. That's them. So there. So there you go. There's that. That's Venin, or Venom if you want to call him. He's actually pretty decent. He's a pretty decent deluxe. For me personally, I was hemming and hawing on just because like I didn't get the other deluxe Insecticon, so I was like kind of debating on whether or not to get this guy. I got him. He's pretty cool though. You know, he's got some flaws. Maybe the wings get in the way in robot mode, but they're, you know, it's not too bad to, you know, it's not too hard to get them out of the way. The transformation is actually pretty clever, although there are some parts that are a little annoying. Maybe the arms, getting the arms and legs into place can be a little annoying. That just kind of fights you and makes kind of snapping noises, which are a little scary. But it does have, it's also got a solid bug mode as well. So yeah, it's just overall pretty solid deluxe overall. So yeah, I think he's worth picking up if you're at all interested. If you're at all interested in the one of the deluxe Insecticons, he's a pretty good one. I think he's arguably one of the better Insecticons molds as a whole, including the mainstays that everybody knows. So yeah, he's just really pretty good. I think you should check him out if you can. So that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media. It's down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Coffee Man Patreon. I shall see you next time with another video review.